So I could just see having the door constantly just be open and kids running in and out, spaghetti or tacos or whatever we've made for the night just on the stove for them to be able to eat, doing their homework, having someone be able to listen to how their day was at school, coming out in the yard, being able to play games. You know, in the back there's a fire pit to be able to have s'mores with them, having a safe place for children to be able to come after school on the weekends that they know they're going to be able to see Christ's love for them. Can't you just see that? So before I knew Christ, I was like super selfish and only wanted to do whatever made me feel good and be able to get away from the troubles or whatever that was going on, which had a lot to do with like partying. Getting drunk was a huge thing in my life. I didn't start that until college, but once I started in college, like totally party girl came out, which led to multiple relationships with guys and just like searching for love and wanting whatever that looked like to happen. One of my good buddies from high school, Taylor Kennedy, me being me, I was like, hey, we should get together and drink sometime. So he said, well, really probably not that, but I do go to this church that's awesome, you should swing by. And I was like, all right, whatever. And then I had a super rough Christmas that year, and I was just like, I don't think it can get worse than this. Like, this sucks. Just the falling out that I had with my family. So I went, it was the first Sunday in January I came. Actually, that's a lie. It was the second Sunday in January. And just like right off the bat, I remember Sarah Amos and Sarah Kretzer just like swooped me in of, how are you? You're awesome. Come hang out with us. And it wasn't like ever this awkward thing, just felt like home. And then, you know, older people, oh, don't put that in there, like women who are older than me who have children and families like sought me out, like Erin and Stacy, and just like wanting to hang out with me, and Sarah Luritzen, and everybody just like took me under their wing. And I always said like I just felt like home and family here from the very beginning.
The way she would describe it when she first started kind of orbiting around the Wellspring community was that she was flirting with Jesus, and but she was very guarded and very cautious, and but as soon as she started forming relationships and really understanding who this Jesus was and who we were, it was very fun to just kind of watch her melt, to watch her guard fall down, and for her to just be enticed to follow Jesus and be in community with other people.
Yeah, I would say the Sam Donahue that we know now is not the same as the one that I met 2.5 years ago. And I had the privilege of leading an internship that Sam went through a couple years ago. And there were some rough conversations with her. She wasn't even really a Christian when she started the internship. And so there was some stuff I was teaching on that was completely biblical. And she just thought I was crazy. Like, this doesn't even make sense.
After she started the internship program, I could tell that she was just absorbing everything that was true, that she was just soaking up everything from the gospel, that she was watching other people, she was learning from other people, and she was really becoming a true disciple before she even had that language of discipleship.
But throughout that 7 weeks, like, you just get loved on in the community, and I just totally felt God's grace and love. And I don't have like an exact day, but I know like during that time I just said that I'm going to do this, I'm going to give my life to Christ.
That was a really exhilarating moment that I will never forget, and was just a very precious time for us to pray with her and for her. And I feel like from that moment on, her journey with Christ has just exploded.
Working at the Noyes home, that started it was July 2nd of 2012. But then the huddle happened probably August, October.
So it was about 2 years ago at this time that Bob and Justin and I knew that we wanted to build a discipling culture at Wellspring, that we wanted to make disciples the way Jesus made disciples. And at first glance, you might think that we would want to choose the people who had been followers of Christ the longest, the ones who were most biblically literate, the ones who are really out there doing something. But we settled on the people who we thought who were around us, who were humble and hungry, the ones who were teachable, the ones who wanted to grow, the ones who wanted to just really dive in and really grow in their discipleship. And Sam was an obvious choice.
In that time, I got promoted from rather just like being on the floor at Noyes Home. I became a caseworker there, where I was able to expand like working with the kids and then also working with their parents and helping them. And I think like that's where my love really for orphans and widows like truly blossomed.
And to not only do that, but start attracting other people around her who were noticing and seeing the transformation in her life, and also hear her start talking about the ways that she wanted to serve Christ and serve her community. And so we could see her going from just soaking it all in to wanting to pour it all out.
I don't know, I just really love the children like this and the women there that need help, and that's where like my love for this like all really started. And then with the huddle, I was being fueled with like just having encouragement from them and knowing that I was doing a good thing there, even though it was like super hard and like you go home and cry a lot of nights of just like, I can't do this. And I remember Justin had a conversation with me and he just said like, you're not the Savior. You're there to help show them who the Savior is, but Jesus is how this gets better. So
you want your friends to like be the best and live into like their full potential and their full like what God has made them to be and their purpose. And I'm just kind of here to like help her and like watch her and love her and just be the person that God has made her to be.
And I actually met her at Young Adult Group, and she came up to me after it was done and she said, hey, can I have your number? I'd really like to hang out with you. And that was just the perfect thing, and that's just a really good example of just Sam's personality, because she's just so loving, and she just, I'm gonna cry, I'm sorry. And she just goes after people, and just what she's doing is just a perfect example of the gospel and just God's heart for people that are like in bad situations and people that need someone to love on them. Because I mean, even when I first came to Young Adult Group, I didn't know anyone, and I needed that, and so I know she'll do a great job loving on people, because that's what she does.
Yeah, she's our family. I mean, really, she's like one of my wife and I's best friends, and so I just want to be a part of what she's doing in any way that I can.
I want to show and tell Jesus in the neighborhood to these children.
I would say, I don't know, she's one of the few people that I know that I can honestly say is radically trying to follow Jesus, and she's willing to literally sell everything to follow him, no matter what the costs.